Welcome to another episode of the A-Team at New Beginnings Farmstead. I'm Elisa. This is Egidio. I have to introduce him first. Okay.
Am I allowed to speak?
No.
I'll let you know. Ryan, Julie, and Jeff, who has his headphones just the way his wife loves it. So
This is for you, Margaret.
That's for you, Margaret. We just finished yesterday our first weekend, a 2-part weekend of Maple Weekend for 2025.
But not our first Maple Weekend, just for 2025.
Of the year.
Okay.
And it was a huge success. We had tons and tons of people and lots of tours, and it was just an amazing experience. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
It was great. The weather was perfect.
Yes,
It was.
You could have got a sunburn.
You could have gotten a sunburn
Yeah.
if you weren't prepared,
Yeah.
or if you were very pale.
Yes.
Yeah, we had the whole thing set up. We had Ryan and Jeff were operating in the sugar shack, getting our last boil going on, and Elisa had her and her team at the shop, and Egidio was schmoozing with all the people throughout the time, and I was
That's
Do a
what
lot
he
of
does
schmooze.
best.
I was leading tours throughout the day, both days, and there was a lot of
You got your steps in. You
I
did
did.
a lot of walking.
Yeah. And so we had some organized tours and people who had previously, booked a time. And then we did some start here for a tour at 10:30 or 11:30.
Yes.
And we'll do that again next weekend. So we'll have 5 tours throughout the day. The whole event is from 10 to 4 each day, Saturday and Sunday. And there'll be guided tours. You can see the whole operation, and we'll have one every hour on the half hour. So 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30,
Yes.
and 2:30.
And your tour ends down where I am in the shop, and they can see all the products that we make. And we are making fresh hot waffles so people can taste all the different syrups, and they can taste the fudge and the chocolate cake, which is apparently a huge hit. People are
Coming from all over for
loving
this.
the chocolate cake.
Would you like to share the recipe?
No,
Why
secret.
not?
No, it's my secret. It's the only thing that's I only make for Maple Weekend.
People come just for that. I was in the parking lot waiting for one of my groups, and a gentleman pulled in very early one of the days, a gentleman and his partner. And I said, "Oh, you're here for Maple Weekend?" He said, "I'm here for the chocolate cake." And I said, "Oh, I hope she made it." Because I didn't know at the time if you had made it or not.
Yes, I did, because last year I did not, and so many people showed up just for cake. Like one couple came from New Jersey for cake, and I didn't make the cake, and I felt terrible. So
Well, give people a teaser what the cake is like.
yes, so it is.
What's the ingredients?
It's
and
decadent.
how many of each ingredient?
It's
It is-
proprietary.
It is a chocolate maple cake that is moist and decadent. That's all I can say.
Decadent.
Decadent. Yes.
Have you had a piece?
I have not. I'm
Me
not allowed
neither.
to.
I've
Yeah, me
None
neither.
of us have had a. No, I
None
don't
of
think
us.
so.
I'm
Yeah.
stingy with my cake. I don't know.
Interesting.
People come from New Jersey, but those of us who work here all the time, we get nothing.
No, I promise that I will make each of you a maple chocolate cake, except for you, to bring
I'll
home.
share.
I know you will.
Wow. That's a good promise.
Yes. Nope. You'll get one this weekend for sure.
Yeah, and the great thing is that folks can come out and see the sheep, and
Yes.
they can
decorate a cookie, the
Yeah.
kids, and
it's
yeah,
tons of
it
fun.
is the
Sit
sheep.
by the rocks and
Mhm.
sit in the sun and the grass.
To do what by the rocks?
Sit.
Oh,
That's not what I thought you said.
no.
I said sit by the
No,
rocks.
Didn't sound like it.
Nope.
I heard sit.
Nope.
Mhm.
I said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It could have gone either way. I'll admit
The
that.
anyway, the
Sounds like-
sheep love Maple Weekend, and then they're very disappointed when it's over with because they are fed and spoken to.
Yeah.
And
I do have to say something about the sheep. So I was leading on these tours, right? And I did, I don't know, probably 75 people's worth of tours each day. And at the end of each, I'm bringing the folks over to the sheep, and I've done this whole thing about seemingly sounding knowledgeable about maple, and then we get to the sheep, and what kind of sheep are these? I have no idea. What are their names? I know their names, but what kind of sheep are they? I was like, I have no idea.
There's
How old are
different
they?
kinds of sheep.
I don't really know. I was like, I think they have no purpose. I think they're pets. I'm pretty sure
They are giant pets.
They'll get shorn sometime soon. I don't know when. Do they use the fleece? I was like, I don't have no idea. Probably not. I don't know.
So here's what Jeff does on the tours. What kind of sheep are they? Do you know a lot about sheep? No. Rutherford sheep. Westminster sheep.
You just make something up?
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
What's the
It
first
is a thing.
If you have to take them on a tour, what's the first question you ask them?
How much do you know about maple syrup? And if they know anything, I say, Julie's right around the corner.
I will not be your tour guide today.
But I'm very clear. I'm like, I really know nothing about these sheep at all.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, they're like, they ask me all these questions. Like, I don't really know. I have no idea.
So I need to write you a little cheat
A
sheet
cheat sheet.
for the sheep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Or you
Well,
can
I
make a
literally
little
have no
sign
idea which
at
Yeah.
one
the
is
fence.
which.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just, I don't know.
like the zoo where they have a little sign: Joey,
Yeah.
Chandler, Ross. And,
Yeah, Joe, Chandler,
Ross,
Ross.
Chandler, and
Yeah.
Joey.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know that. That's literally the only thing I
Did
know.
I say the names wrong?
You
No,
did.
you said it.
In the wrong order.
Oh, wait, there's an order?
Well, she says if I don't say Ross first, then Chandler, then
Oh.
Joey.
I
said it
always
wrong.
say Joey.
I
I
always
thought
say-
you, I didn't hear you say Joey.
I always
Oh.
say the owner is a big fan of Friends,
Yes.
and they said, "Oh,
Right.
Joey, Chandler, and Ross." I said,
Yeah.
That's it.
See, he said it out of order. You didn't correct him.
I didn't hear you. I thought you missed Joey. But so they are Southdown sheep.
Oh, I said
Southdown.
South Hold.
So close.
It's like, oh, that's
So
Long
some
Island.
kid right now is doing theirs report.
South Hold.
So Ross is the only male, and he looks different. So you can
He's
definitely,
big and has a black part right here.
yeah, he's definitely
Pushy.
Yes,
And the
he's
eater.
pushy,
He's the big eater.
but his face looks different.
Was there anything else different?
Yes, because you give me like some.
He's-
Could you
his
paint
face
his
is
nails?
more narrow. Joey and Chandler are both females, and you can tell them apart because Chandler's ear tag is missing. So Joey
Okay, I need a
has
cheat
an
sheet.
ear tag.
Oh,
I mean, they've got thick wool that's going to get cut off. Can you
Yes.
spray paint on the side their names just on the side of their wool?
That's not okay.
Why? They don't use the wool.
Would you like somebody to spray paint your name on you?
Just hear
who's
it.
that? That's Julie.
Can't you tell? Okay.
Uh-huh.
So Julie got today a very, very complimentary email.
Aw.
Oh, come on.
No.
Well, people need to know first what.
Yes.
wh-
All
why-
right. So go ahead.
So
Julie. Set it up, and then I'm going to read the email.
we feel here at New Beginnings Farmstead that's important that not only do people see how the farm works, but also to kind of understand the science and everything behind it. Maybe I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for anyone else.
No,
I
you
don't know if
speak for all
Jeff
of us.
cares about any of that. So,
South Hole Sheep.
So one of the things we do is a tour. And so it starts out to really understand what tools we're using and how this season looks when we are not having maple season. So processing the land and being good stewards of the land because we're a certified tree farm here. And so we have to be stewards of the land and we manage our wood and harvest our wood here on property. And so we talk about that and the tools that we use. And then I go into photosynthesis and the production of sap and the collection of sap. And then we talk about, the collection and we move on to the boiling. We move into the sugar shack. They get to watch Ryan throwing the wood into the evaporator and, how he does all of his magic there to make our syrup, be our sugar maker. They see the whole system.
Magic.
It's magic. There's a lot of heckling. I feel like there's a lot of heckling when I'm in there. I feel like I'm constantly being heckled.
No.
I don't
I
think
don't think so.
I've never experienced
No, I think there's a lot of dialogue. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily
Yeah,
consider it.
education.
Dialogue is two-way. If you're talking about me, then that's heckling.
We're not talking about you.
No.
We're talking at you.
No. We are enhancing the show.
Right. We're talking to the people.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's
no,
interrupting.
No.
No.
No, I don't think so.
No.
In my defense,
Sounds like heckling.
my tours may not be educational, but they're funny.
They are funny.
So then they get to see the whole thing. They get to
It's very
experience what
animated.
this is a
Julie's
lot.
tour is very animated.
There's a lot of you get to see what sap is like and the process, and you
It's a whole
learn
workout
about
for
bottling.
Julie.
It is a workout.
Oh yeah.
I count every step here. And then we move down to the shop and they get to try out the different types. And it's a very circular and complete and comprehensive tour.
Yes.
And I have an environmental education background. That's the heart of what I do. And it is when I'm best in my zone. And so I put a lot of passion into it.
Yes, you do.
I put sarcasm.
And
Yeah.
yes, and sometimes if I don't make my tour right by in that minute, then Jeff has already started and he looks to me like, did I miss anything? I don't know if you missed anything. What did you say so far?
Mostly things that are not true. So
Right.
you just got to start over.
We've asked for an outline. We've asked for bullet points.
Nothing.
Nothing.
No list.
We've got to
no
go off the
nothing.
cuff.
Got to.
So, Jeff, what you should do, you should be the sheep part. So you should, if you have to start,
Like the shepherd.
then you should. Yes.
No, that's good. So I don't have to learn the sheep.
Yeah.
part.
So you
Yeah.
should learn about the sheep, and
I
then
don't
you,
learn maple and I do it.
It's true.
Yeah, that's good.
but it'll
And
be
so-
easier because
yes.
we know friends, right?
Yes.
So
And the tours are free and anyone can join and whether you are 3 years old or 100 years old, anyone can participate in the tours.
yes.
And so, that's the lead into what
this
Elise
is-
is about to tell you.
So today at work, Julie received this very, very nice, beautifully written email
Aw.
that I'm going to share with everyone. I'm going to leave names out, of course. So good afternoon, Julie. I'm not
You said you
leaving.
were leaving
I
names
know.
out.
I'm not leaving her name out.
Rule number one.
My name is blank, and we met on Saturday when my husband blank and I brought our grandson blank,
Blank.
to the farm for
The
Maple
Blank
Weekend. I'm writing because I wanted you to know that the grandson was completely taken with you and all you shared with us. He's not quite 4 and generally very curious about nature, but I haven't seen him as intensely interested as he was on Saturday. When we got home, he wanted to dictate a story to his parents, which I have attached here. Sunday morning, I asked him if he had any good dreams, and he immediately said, yes, Miss Julie was there telling me about the farm. Then on the train to Brooklyn yesterday, he spent a good part of the ride revisiting every detail he could recall about what Miss Julie said. I share this because I imagine it may not always be clear to you that you've had an impact on those who you interact with. In this case, you had a tremendous impact on a little boy with a curious mind and a love of nature. I can't thank you enough for spending the time you did and making the workings of the farm so accessible for even the youngest participant.
It was such an incredible
Yes.
letter to receive.
That is, what a beautiful compliment.
Yeah, so incredible that they took that away from a 1 hour tour and, that I was touring with 25 people at the time. So it wasn't any real individual as I didn't feel like it was very individual, but then to find me, my office and write that letter
Yeah.
was so incredible.
It was beautiful. And she enclosed, I won't read everything that he dictated, but for almost 4,
Yeah.
he was very detailed.
Yeah, he remembered a lot. Yeah.
And he knew it in the proper order,
Yeah.
which is very impressive
Yes.
for someone his age. And he talked about the guy putting the wood in the hot stove and
Didn't remember your name though.
No.
and the farm
Nobody
using
remembers my name.
tubes to get the sap down from the trees, and they boil it till it's done, and they're orange tubes. He mentions the big forklift that carries the piles of wood to the wood crates. Miss Julie told us about going into the woods and picking the trees and wearing hard hats so that tree branches don't fall on their heads. And the Sherpa, he remembered the word Sherpa.
Yeah.
Wears a vest with all the tools that they need. And then Miss Julie told us that the squirrels nibble on the pipes. So the farmers have to check all the pipes. Like, he really was detailed. And we walked up the hill, and Miss Julie told us about the trees and that he gave you a maple leaf.
I did.
Then they went to the Blue Barn. He got a waffle. He got to decorate a sugar cookie. He also bought some syrup for mom and dad. And the lady, that would have been me, I'm lady, gave him a little piece of fudge. And then he bought a Rice Krispie treat. And then the lady gave him food for the sheep, and he got to feed the sheep. I mean, he really was, he remembered a lot.
Yeah.
He probably went to school today and told all his friends.
He probably did.
If he's even old enough for
But
school.
he didn't know what kind of sheep they were.
The Southold sheep.
Don't be a hater.
Yes.
Well, it was very kind and
Yeah.
it meant a lot to me.
Very
And,
nice.
it's interesting because we have this open house and there's a sign out by the road and it's a New York state wide Maple Weekend. It's 2 weekends every March. And so folks that are out of the area could certainly look on the map or their website and choose any maple farm. And they choose to come here. And then also so many people that we saw this weekend, so many people said to me, I live on that street. I live on that street. I'm your neighbor. I live on the other side of the rail trail. I live in Kerhonkson and I drive by here every day. I live in Ellenville and I drive by here 3 times a week. I live in, Kingston and I drive by here all the time. And I've always wanted to stop. And I never know. It's hard to tell what you do there. And it's like,
Work.
Yeah, that's not hard to tell.
It's just work.
well, because it's not necessarily, I don't think it's necessarily intuitive when you're driving by what
Right.
this is about.
Well, not
Right.
at 55, 60 miles an hour, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's
Well,
true.
yeah, it's not. I mean,
Yeah. No,
it
you're
could be,
100%.
especially if you maybe have a family that's been here for a long time, then you haven't been here. I mean, you're here since 2016, right? So
Yeah.
before that, maybe they knew it as what it
Right,
was
and there
before.
really wasn't a sign out the front before then either. I mean,
Right.
for us, we put the sign out, New Beginnings Farmstead. When we put the New York State certified wood, tree farm out there, people thought we grew Christmas trees.
Yeah.
That's the initial thought. Like, put me down for one. And,
Right.
I want a 6-footer, and like what?
Yeah, it's not intuitive. I mean, from the road, you
Yeah.
can't barely see the sheep. You
Right.
definitely can't see the solar. There's really no way that you would know to interpret that this is a maple farm.
Mhm.
There's nothing that says like we do weddings. I mean,
Right.
there's
Little
Right.
hidden gem.
It is. It is. And it's just so nice to talk to people. And I love that there are people who come from pretty far away,
yeah.
who come year after year after year. And
Chocolate cake.
they do get the cake, I must say, but they come the first year and then you see them in a couple years and now they have a child with them or they bring their parents the next time they come. And it's so nice that not only do they come, but that they take the time to come back.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
And quite a few people were making a whole trip out of it. So I talked to several people that came from New York City, which is not too far from here, an hour and a half or so. And they would come here and then, go into Kingston for a meal or go
Right.
to, a community for a meal or, overnight. And it's agritourism. That's what
Right.
it is.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
and
absolutely, I love Maple Weekend.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people show up to the sugar house that are sugar makers themselves,
Mhm.
and just talk about the season. Right? There's no competition amongst us. It's not the case, and
Even though we make better syrup.
yeah, well, that's what they said. Though.
One person said to me, like, so really there's no difference. I think we heard this a couple times. There's really no difference from place to place on the syrup, right? But you all say that it's the best. And it's like, well,
Yeah. Well, what is the best?
that's kind of the best. I mean, it's no different as like if you get corn on the cob over there, it's the same from that farm gets corn on the cob. But, well,
Yeah.
But it is interesting that there is, right? Like there's different tastes, not just the grades, right? There's 4 grades of syrup as per New York State, but the flavors are different,
Right.
right? And we've seen with some of the people we've interviewed before during the Farmcast that they'll say, I don't believe in ROs. I don't think I think ROs change the flavor. And we've had people that are strictly flat pan and other people that, have high boil rates or are able to boil immediately upon collection or, they freeze some of it as an RO. And it's just very different. But a lot of it's, where it's growing.
Right. The
Right?
minerals in the
mineral
soil.
content. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you see it in the pans every time you cook that there's a difference, right? Sometimes there's a high niter buildup, sometimes there isn't. So
Yes, absolutely.
the one thing I can tell you is that for the longest time, we thought by putting smoking that we used like an apple wood, it doesn't change the flavor.
No.
Apple wood doesn't change the flavor.
so what you're
We
saying
never
is
thought that.
what you're
I never thought that.
Jeff?
so the type of wood doesn't matter.
No. Well, the type of wood makes a difference in the evaporator,
Do
but it
tell.
doesn't change the flavor
Did
of the
you
syrup.
miss his whole show that time? He went on when we brought the toad in, and it was kind of pieces of leftover here and
He
there.
was
And,
not very happy.
Not happy.
This
Just during
weekend?
Maple
do I
Weekend.
have to spell
Oh, yeah.
consistency? Do you
was angry.
understand what the word consistency
He was
means?
angry.
Does this
Does this-
piece of wood look like the same size as this piece of wood?
This did not
one-
happen during Maple
Oh,
Weekend.
it didn't.
Oh,
did
he
it?
was
Oh,
angry.
people were like taken back.
Yeah.
He was who?
They were
I was
grabbing
throwing
their
logs
kids.
all over. Yeah.
It
They were
was
holding their
loaded.
kids tight. It was all scary.
It's like when the chef comes out and throws stuff in the kitchen that the rest of the poor Jeff and I, we didn't know what to do.
I was scared.
Don't
my
believe
life.
no.
No.
any of this. None
No.
of this is true.
You're missing the show. You got to come out here.
None of this is true.
You're missing out.
So-
come out over Maple Weekend.
Yes, we are continuing Maple Weekend this Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4. I do have some video and pictures that I'm going to post. I do want to thank My Kingston Kids, who brought out a very large group this past Saturday, and Julie got to take them on their tour, and they did all the fun things here on the farm. We have a Girl Scout troop coming on Sunday from Rosendale that we're looking forward to meeting and spending some time with. We get a lot of Girl Scout troops that come.
Yeah, Girl Scouts is how I got into this.
Yeah, I was going to say Julie's a former Girl Scout. So
Yeah.
if you want your troop to come and work on a badge, you need to reach out to us.
They can get their own tour, right? Like their own
Yes.
private tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are getting their own private tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tour with Miss Julie.
I do.
Or
want
they can choose Jeff as a tour guide.
They could.
learn
Let's
all
give
about
them
the
an
sheep.
option.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
more of a PG-13.
If we're
guy.
going to give them if we're going to give them options, I think what we should do is they go with Jeff on a tour, then they go with Julie on a tour, and then they fill out a questionnaire, like a pre-test and a
Boy,
post-test.
that could get ugly. I do want to mention that we do pick a monthly winner out of everybody who subscribes to our channel here on YouTube. And for the month of March, we have Josh Goldman is our winner of the large bottle of maple syrup.
Congratulations.
Yay, Josh! Woo! So hopefully Josh will. I did message him, and hopefully he will send me his mailing address so I can get his maple syrup out to him.
Or you
But
can come by on Maple Weekend. and get it.
yes, if you subscribe to our channel, you are automatically entered to win a bottle of pure maple syrup from our farm.
And keep in mind that when we have Maple Weekend, it is rain or shine. It is
Yes.
weather,
Not
no
weather.
matter the weather.
Yes.
No weather, the weather. And so come on out. It is dry in the Sugar Shack. The tours will be wet, but the Sugar Shack will be dry.
Yep.
I've seen you put
And
on
our hearts
shows
are
in the
warm.
Sugar House, though.
Mhm.
You can do tours in the Sugar House.
I can.
Yeah.
I will modify as needed.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll send people out with Jeff to the sheep and
Yep. Just wear your raincoat.
wear your raincoat.
Bring an umbrella. It's all
I'm a
good.
fair weather guy.
It's true. We're just outside of Kingston on the past Hurley on Route 209 and can't miss us.
So we hope to see you this weekend. And we also hope you like and
Are you going to
subscribe.
be posting this before the weekend?
Yes, I am going to post
So
this
if
this
you
week.
mention that you watch this, she'll throw in, well, I don't know. I can't say a cake because you're not making the cakes. But
Maple cookie?
Sure.
there you go.
Yeah.
Mention the podcast.
Maybe you
right?
should say a specific word because you want them to see this one.
Oh, okay.
Like a safe word?
Snuffleupagus.
Southhold.
I think
Southold.
Southold.
Southhold.
If you
you
come-
walk up to
If you
Elisa
come to
and whisper,
me in the blue barn and say Southold, you will get a free maple cookie.
there you go.
Or an odd look when she forgets what it's all about. What did you say to me?
People keep saying Southold.
Chideo, can you come down to the shop?
Wait, that guy said Southold and got a cookie. All you have to do is say Southold.
As they walk out, kids, say Southhold.
hurry, go tell her Southold.
Hey, it'd be worth the fun, right? One of the people we just talked to on a separate farmcast just mentioned that it's not even about. I say it's not about the money. Of course, there's some. We're in business, but the fact of the matter is just that,
Ish.
the truth is, as much as we bust on you, Julie, that's exactly what we're hoping for. That somebody, some child, some adult, whoever leaves here has a better understanding of what goes on, not just in our farm, in every farm that does maple syrup, and ultimately has a better respect and understanding of what it takes to do what we do. That's it. That's really what it comes down to. You may have, and I'm not trying to make you cry, you may have changed the course of this person's life because they want to be more like you. And there's something to it. I want to be just like Miss Julie.
Oh, man.
Julie.
So come find me over the weekend. I'll put on a cowboy hat and you will see me in a cowboy
Yes.
hat. But don't say Southold to me because I will give you nothing.
But you should call her Miss Julie. And the other thing I do want to mention that you were just talking about a previous farmcast where we spoke to a farmer and he spoke about the camaraderie. And when we call everyone who is with us, not only here, but with everything we do, the farm family, we truly mean that it is all about our farm family. And we now have a grandson who runs around with Ryan's daughter, and there's nothing like it, right?
It's true. And we sit here as the A team, but but we are a fraction of what makes this process
Yes.
what makes this farm
100%.
happen.
Yeah.
We're just the public face of it.
So,
I mean,
Jeff, anything? No, nothing. He's got nothing.
Southold.
So what's the word if I want a chocolate cake?
You're not getting cake.
It's really that good, huh?
I mean, I had a woman we were in the shop. There's like 700 people in there. This woman pulled me over and she said, "Tell me how I'm going to get the recipe for this cake." And she called it like unbelievable or amazing or like some.
She didn't use the word
Extremely-
decadent, though, did
She
she?
didn't say decadent. I can't remember the word that she used, but it was like
Huh.
indescribable or something amazing.
I
And
have
was just like,
gotten
what?
Facebook messages and texts telling
Are
me that
these
this
those
is
little
the
round,
best.
like
They're-
6 or 8 inch
they're-
cakes?
Yeah. Yep. That is the best chocolate cake in their life. I'm like, wow, I should have opened a bakery and just had chocolate cake. You'll tell
There's
me.
still time.
Never mind.
There, I will make you all. You will definitely have a chocolate cake to
I mean,
take
this
home
would have
with
been a
you.
good time for us to like demo it
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
next year.
The reason why I only do it for Maple Weekend is because it is quite a process. That's all I will
A
say.
process she won't tell you about
Nope,
because
I
it's
won't tell you.
proprietary.
If
So-
I find out, I'll tell you.
So why don't we record you doing it and share that?
No, because then anybody can make the chocolate cake.
But not like you.
Of course not. I do add love, but whatever.
And sarcasm.
A lot of sarcasm.
Yep.
So if you get to the farm this weekend before the chocolate cake sells out, you too could have some decadent chocolate cake.
All right, how many are you making?
There will be a minimum of 12.
These are
12.
mini bun cakes, right?
They're not bun cake.
Oh.
Bun
They're
cake.
now
No.
A boonty cake.
it's like a
That's not how you say it.
Like
Sounds
a what? Like a big muffin?
In my
it's a cake.
Greek wedding, it says a boonty cake.
Yes. And my big fat Greek,
Greek
wedding.
wedding. A
And
boonty
it had
cake.
like the flower in the middle of it.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
So
Um,
only 12 of them. Can they
I'm-
pre-order? If they call ahead and say Southold Bundt cake.
A boonty cake.
I will
I
say-
really hope that everybody watching this thinks that this is funny because it would be really embarrassing if we're the only ones laughing at this. No. All right. So more than
Okay.
12 cakes?
I will try.
Is that including our cakes?
Right.
No. I will have
Ah.
12 to sell at the shop because I can make 12 per recipe.
But
I'll
you'll
make
have-
2 recipes. I will make a recipe to give to all of you.
Yeah. So then
And
you
I
really
will-
have
24.
20,
Well, not really.
18.
Maybe.
Oh, 20, 20.
Four.
Wait,
12 times 2.
12.
Well, there's
Minus
more
4.
than just the 4 of you.
He's
I'm
not
gonna have
getting
to.
one.
I'm not getting one.
I'll have to
Wait,
give.
what?
And if I got one,
Yeah, but
I would
I'm
be
gonna
waiting.
have to give Chris and Christina one. I'm gonna have to give
but
Allie and
we
Patrick.
could all just share. We could all just take a bite of one.
No.
Although
the same.
Brandon did taste it on Saturday.
What?
And what
How
did
do
he
you get
say?
a piece?
Oh,
Did
he's
he
your
say it's
favorite.
decadent?
He said it was decadent.
He used the word
He
decadent?
said this is why it's sold out.
He's everybody's favorite.
I would be.
Brandon.
I would if you gave me one to taste. I'd hold it and save it and be waiting by the corner of the shop, and I'd be like scalping tickets. Hey, what's a cake?
How much do you sell them for?
$6.
Wow, you could probably get 7.
I probably could, but I'm
Not
not
anymore.
greedy.
$6 it is.
$6.
Or a free one if you. Oh, no.
No, no. That's a cookie.
That's a cookie.
Southhold gets you a cookie.
It's actually the ingredients are really expensive.
But if you say the word,
It has a lot of eggs
then
in
you'll
it.
get a free cake.
So all right, we got eggs,
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's in the flour.
flour.
What kind of flour?
I don't
Wait, how
know
are you
why
assuming there's
it's
flour? What if it's gluten free? Meaning there's not.
It's not gluten
Is it
free.
gluten free? It's not. So there's flour. We
Flour.
know that one.
You
And how
don't know
many
what
eggs?
kind of flour.
Well, you got to put in 35 eggs.
Could be almond flour.
30
Divided by
eggs.
12.
12 eggs.
Is it vegan?
It is not vegan.
Just so
Lots
everyone.
of butter.
Okay, so there's
So
butter.
anyone continuing to listen to this banter, Elisa talks in her sleep. I will put the recorder on. Hopefully, she'll disclose some of it.
Okay. So we hope you join us.
Although a
this
lot of times the
weekend.
ingredients you recite are like arsenic. I don't know what exactly you're making. But
That's a whole different cake.
That's your kid.
Just for you, honey. Okay.
We should have ended this a couple minutes
Yeah,
ago.
so
We might edit
Thank
it out.
you
Okay, good.
for joining us. And we hope that you like and subscribe, because then you will be entered to win the bottle of syrup that we give away once a month. And either way, we hope you stop out to see us for Maple Weekend.
See you soon.